Okay, so here we go with the first update in a bit. I did do the update. I did try and follow my commitment. I just failed epically after making a video, and then it wouldn't upload. I just really couldn't be asked to go and drive 4 miles to get a better 4G signal to make it upload. Anyway, I've got to get started again. And another reason for this is this: my son has had this most insane fever on, off for about 6 days or whatever. He seems to be a bit better now. But like lots of flailing around at night, lots of sleepless nights, and lots of really being pushed to the edge. So much so that I had a complete and utter breakdown. Not mentally, just emotionally. I just ended up in floods of tears in a meeting. In a meeting where I was doing the chair, I just got to a bit where I was talking about how grateful I was, particularly about my relationship with my sponsor, stroke mentor, which is it's just been an amazing journey getting to know this man and getting to walk shoulder to shoulder and be open and honest about myself in a way that I I haven't been with pretty much anybody else ever, and being accepted and loved in return, because I was brought up encultured that you don't talk about that sort of stuff. You don't talk about what goes on inside. You don't talk about your deepest fears. You don't talk about the dark shit that you think about, or even in my case, have done. I just lost it. I lost it, and I cried like for a few minutes. And what was really cool was that I just didn't feel the need to apologise. There was a knee jerk. I want to go, oh, sorry, but I just thought, actually, no. I think I actually even said, you're not getting a fucking apology. And it was the next day, actually that night, just when I thought I couldn't go anymore, I was awake all night with Noah, all night with him thrashing around, no, in whatever delirium he was in. And he woke up in the middle of the night and looked up and said, oh, I love you, Daddy. And then drifted off back into his delirium. And the next day I cried again, and it's like again in a very public environment. And I worked out with another friend that the last time I cried was when I went to see the movie When a Man Loves a Woman, which I thought was roughly 20 years ago. It was 24 years ago, and that's almost half my life. Without having a proper boo-hoo. It's pretty tragic, really. And no doubt is a contributory factor in the imbalance that came up in my makeup, in my being, that would allow something like cancer to get a foothold. But yeah, it was a joyous thing to be able to just express myself, and to be able to emote, and to be with that with a bunch of people where I felt safe and to a large degree loved. What I kind of get from that is that when we do manage to put in place the perfect carapace. I know it's a lot of a certain generation, around about sort of 25, 30, 35 somethings, who just don't have any expressions, don't emote. It's just a way of, I don't know, maybe appearing G or something. I really have no idea. But that aside, done, amazing experience. Felt like a real breakthrough for me. But back to this getting busy on some sort of nutritional food protocol. Find a juicer, go on Gumtree, look up the difference between the sort of grinding juicers and the slow juicers. I had both, and I just have two of those, what they call slow juicers, where they're great. They're a bit more expensive, but neither of mine came new. One was from Gumtree, one was from eBay. And the original juicer was a gift. they just get busy, and if your budget doesn't allow for like a plethora of wonderful greens and etc. or organics, and just get a bag of organic carrots. At one point I didn't have the budget for all the stuff that I would love to be juicing. I just got a great big sack of organic carrots and just started churning through that. And it's really important to try and drink the juice within quite soon after juicing it, to really get all the light, because we're trying to get all the energy from it. We're trying to drink almost like the photosynthesis, the electrical energy of the plants, and it just goes straight into our system, and really starts to give us the boost that we need to get started, and look at getting some good quality vitamin C in our system. Look at getting hold of some Essiac tea to I used to end the day, because you're not supposed to eat for a couple of hours afterwards. Look at getting your apricot kernels. Look up ordering raw coffee online. Get a NutriBullet to buzz it up, because it won't buzz up in a coffee grinder because it's too soft. The beans are unroasted, and I immersed myself in watching Truth About Cancer videos, Chris Speaks Cancer series. I wanted to see. I wanted to hear from the people that had done this, people that had walked the path, and I wanted to do what they did, because there wasn't too much time to muck about. Although ultimately it's going to be your own journey. It's been my journey. I've tweaked and twerked it along the way, according to various different things. Like, for instance, I used to juice a lot of turmeric, and now I don't. It actually started to make me feel, I don't think it's great to have that stuff raw. I mean, it probably is, I don't know, as long as you're getting pepper to activate the curcumin. But for me, I like to get my turmeric in the bone broth now. Shoot me dead, I'm not a vegan. I kind of maybe would like to explore going that way. I've certainly been vegan. I was vegan for over 3 years once. Vegan stroke macrobiotic, even managed to survive that perfectly intact and very healthy. And it's an aspiration, but for me, I kind of feel like I want the bone broth, because I want to heal the gut. I think a lot of the stuff that sort of led towards my health deterioration, such that something like cancer could get a foothold, it was a lot due to having a compromised gut, and a lot of the gelatin that comes from bone broth helps to heal that scenario, as I understand it. Correct me if I'm wrong, and vegans, no doubt, you're all quite prolific in your proselytizing of your approach to life. Please shoot me any intel about how to heal the gut the vegan way, because it would be an ideal. Anyway, that's the update for today. I'm going to put it up. Like it, loathe it, absorb it, or just throw it away. Stay peaced.